Get Into Geek, episode 48. We are back, the full Stargate SG-1 Get Into Geek team. My name is Mitch. Joining me, Matty Gibson. Hello. Straight and sweet. Let's get straight into it. Brendan.
Yo.
And Rhys.
Hey there.
We're here to talk Stargate SG-1. We just talk Stargate on this show. 3 great long-term fans, 1 newbie. This week, Season 3, Episode 4, Legacy. Rhys, you want me to read the synopsis before I ask you what you think?
Oh, please, yeah.
What was that about again?
Right. This is what it's about. I'm glad you asked.
Context, guys.
A mysterious tablet discovered on a distant planet infects anyone who...
serious tablet?
I wanted to say mysterious.
Oh, mysterious.
I thought you said serious.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's legit serious.
It's a serious tablet, guys.
This
serious
is
tablet.
no joking tablet.
A seriously mysterious tablet discovered on a distant planet
It's
infects
an iPad
anyone
6 Air. It's a serious tablet.
who touches it with a hallucinogen. I like that word. I don't think I've ever read it and said it at the same time. The remarkable stone infects Teal'c and, before long, the entire team except Hammond. Can Hammond stop it and save SG-1 alone?
What?
Have they watched this thing?
Sorry, what?
Where the
Infected.
The picture next to it is Daniel in an insane
Is
asylum.
Hammond even in this episode?
Yeah, he is.
He
At the end.
but barely.
You've got
He's
The
Teal'c.
remarkable
outside
stone-
the little thing on
You
the
got-
microphone.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
got Teal'c dying in a fish tank. You've got Daniel doing some kick-ass shit in a padded room. And it's up to Hammond?
The remarkable stone infects Teal'c, and before long, the entire team.
Well,
Well,
Joel-
it does infect the entire team.
Yeah, but it
Yeah, that's true.
affected
Okay, that's true.
Daniel.
Yes.
No.
I feel like...
It's a Daniel
First.
episode.
Infect,
really.
not affect.
Yeah. Can you just reread that again?
Yeah, but I
And-
said the infection affects him.
Yeah. Can you just read that last sentence again, but replace any Hammond reference with Jolena?
With, excuse me, Walter.
Hey, yeah, we
Oh,
can
we got
probably
to start
doing
doing
that.
that.
Jesus, he's back. All right, let's redo it.
But didn't Jolena save the day?
Of course.
Who cares about Jonah? Because I feel like I can get Walter back in here very
Yeah.
easy
No,
without
okay, that's
thinking.
fine. No, go
Okay,
for
let's
it.
do it again. A mysterious tablet discovered on a distant planet infects anyone who touches it with a hallucinogen. The remarkable stone infects Teal'c, and before long, the entire team except Hammond. Can Walter stop it and save SG-1 alone? You goddamn right he is, because he's goddamn Walter.
Of course he can.
You can do it. He's back, baby.
Oh, I love you, Gary Jones. You're
man.
back.
I'll tell you what, if we're going to get anyone on the show, on our show, it's going to be Gary Jones.
We should find Mitch. You and I got to interview him years ago.
Have we told
Did ya?
Brendan and Rhys about
did you
that?
guys know
What?
we actually-
About what?
Have you met him?
Yeah, we got to meet Gary Jones.
Have you?
once. Yeah, did you know that?
What? Oh, you
Yeah.
should have got a photo.
Yeah, Lincoln was there too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. We should see if we can dig that up, either the audio or the video itself,
Yeah.
and see.
I don't remember one thing we asked him.
Me neither.
I really don't. But
I know what we were wearing because we were dressed up at the time. You were.
well, hey, what were you dressed as?
I was dressed as a spacefaring officer on a starship of some kind.
Starship's close enough, buddy.
You said star.
Rhys, Legacy, buddy. What'd you think?
Yeah, look, I thought it was bloody Marcello, isn't he? Mischievous bloody dead guy,
You cheeky fucker.
isn't he? No, I thought that was pretty cool. The whole, the search for the Guy Would and the way that they found it as well.
In the
Yeah.
tomb. You
Yeah,
mean?
and then
I thought that tomb thing was a bit odd.
Yeah, I didn't get... Because when they started going on about the invisible people and how maybe the Goa'uld change themselves into energy instead of... And I'm just like, oh, this is taking a wayward track, but...
Oh, you mean, yeah,
that's
Daniel was
That's
getting...
awkward.
Daniel was going, I felt something brush against me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I just bet if Rhys has got problems with people turning into energy, we've got some serious problems in a couple of seasons' time. I thought it was interesting that we went to Marcello's home planet. He's apparently the only man on that planet, and the Stargate's like in his living room. He died.
The TV's behind it,
Yeah.
so he has to...
We've got
If the gate turns on, it's like, come on.
yeah.
I was watching Roseanne here.
Shut
I was about to go. He's a total Becky. But it's like we've taken all his technology. All his technology is like in Area 51. Like all the technology from his
Yeah.
planet is in Area 51. And the one piece of technology that gives us a problem, we find off world somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's like we never hear about any of the tech that we found on
Hey,
his
man,
planet.
it's like a landmine. All right.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I just found it weird because Tilt goes, this is of ancient Goa'uld design. And then these Goa'uld are perfectly preserved. I'm going, how long have they been there? I didn't really take note, but then Carter, the first few times, but then Carter says that they're only there for a month.
Oh.
Yeah.
But Marcello died 6 months ago.
Well,
Yeah, but-
didn't they say though with like Pelops, it was like an ancient Goa'uld dialect, and Daniel had trouble translating and stuff like that. So I guess there are other dialects around. What were you gonna say?
So basically, they said that he would have planted it before he died, obviously. And then obviously those...
I don't think he was doing much for several years.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey,
What was that
If we've got
tomb?
those UAVs, surely he's got his own version of that where he's just sending shit
Yeah.
through the gate to different
Could
planets.
call it like a Kino or something.
Amazon drone,
Yeah. Amazon drone.
just delivering.
Because what were they? They were Linverse.
Linverse. Now, I'd completely forgotten that terminology.
yeah, me too.
Because it never comes up again.
And we never saw them
We
again.
never saw them.
Seems to be a
I feel like
reoccurring
The
phrase
last,
that we're using.
the last 3 or 4 episodes we've had, and we never see them again. And they also have really weird endings. The way they're the episodes just end in a really weird place. But we'll get to that a little bit later. But just on the Linverse,
I don't know. In Seth, the Carter family reunion was all right. Not.
I think that's the first not joke since 1999 as well.
Yeah, welcome, guys.
But yeah, I'd completely forgotten about the Linverse, this little group of Goa'uld. We never hear from them about them ever again, I guess, because they're all dead. But it's never really established. In my mind, they were just Goa'uld, so they were bad Goa'uld, and that's why Marcello killed them. But they do say that they opposed the system lords.
Yeah.
So were they Tok'ra?
Tok'ra.
Or were they opposing the system lords in the way that they wanted to take over?
Staging a coup.
Yeah.
That's how I'm taking
right.
it.
Didn't
Yeah.
Tilk say that he was sent to hunt them?
Well, he would have been sent to hunt Tok'ra as well.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it probably adds to that theory.
Well, then, but if they wanted to circumvent the system lords and take over, and the 9 of them to become the new system lords, well, they'd still be hunted anyway, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of left. I guess at the end of the day, it's not vital to the plot because it's not really about that.
Yeah.
But given that we've had so much sort of world building and interesting sort of recurring stuff happening, it's kind of just this little plot point that's just left dangling that we never.
It's another one of those ideas that we were throwing around the other week that Stargate Origins could be a anthology series. Like we spend maybe 60 minutes worth of screen time with these guys.
Weekend at Linverse.
Who are the 9, you know? And then it ends like Romeo and Juliet style. It's like we see them pick up the tablet and go into a certain room like, oh no, we know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Oh, locked from the outside.
I think the funniest bit was when Jack's like, all right, let's get out of here. It's creepy.
Yeah, we'll send in the science team.
Yeah.
They can handle the darkness.
Yeah.
Screw this
I
shit.
was just like, Daniel's like, some brushed up against me. I'm like, Daniel, you pussy. And Jack's just like, yeah, this is creepy. I'm like, oh shit, we better get out. Like, it's real now.
It was just a
Jack's
line
scared.
of dialogue really early on. I was just like, oh, this put me offside straight away when they're walking through. They're already we didn't hear or see the gate open. They're just there walking around, aren't they? Or do we see them come through the
No, I think
wormhole?
they were
They were just in the
just
tomb.
there. But we get the
around.
idea because they're
No
standing next to the
signs of
gate
life.
walking away. Yeah, and
I'm
someone's
just
saying
like,
something.
this is Bane all over again.
Yeah, because then Carter
Little sperm-looking things that are attacking.
Totally.
and Daniel or O'Neill says something, and Carter says, oh, I don't know, that we sent them out through and there were no signs of life. I'm like, pretty sure you would have covered that before you walked through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been in the briefing.
That would have been
before
in the
mission.
briefing. Like, you don't need to
Yeah.
repeat this. This is purely for
Remember-
the audience.
remember back
And I
in-
just hate lines
Remember back in
like
season 1 when Daniel asked to see the vision from the Malp and Hammond was all cagey like, oh, there is no vision from the Malp. He's like, this is crazy. Why would we go there? So it's like, yeah, all that
Yeah.
stuff would have been covered
Yeah.
in the pre-mission briefing.
You're saying last week about how Shanksy was looking for more roles to like showcase his acting and that. Oh, how awesome was this one?
Yeah, he was great.
He
He's
is such
a little
brilliant.
crazy.
schizo. Oh man,
I could have spent the entire episode in that padded room.
Yeah.
Oh
It was
yeah.
just so good. The way he
Oh.
was just jumping and changing, and then amazing tracking shot that like it winds along the bottom of the padding on the floor to get up to his face. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa!
Even in the debrief and like his quarters, like you're watching him as he reacts to something that he's seeing or hearing that we as the audience come to know isn't real. But in his mind it is. Now, I usually watch movies and TV shows where you see someone who's seeing something or hearing something they know isn't real. They know it couldn't possibly be real, but they don't tell anyone about it. I'm like, and it goes on and on and on, and I get so angry. But I watch this, and I don't know whether it was just the way that he was. There wasn't too much in his performance that I'm like, well, if you're reacting that way, why wouldn't you be going to help? Like, you're one of the more sensible people here. But there was just something about the way that he did it. I'm like, I fully buy why. I can fully buy looking at you going, you don't completely believe what you're seeing or hearing, but I also believe why you're not telling anyone about it, that you go, hey, look, something might be weird going on. So I was fully into what he was doing, and then it just got crazier
Plus
and crazier.
The first one would have seemed like a dream.
Yeah.
When the locker.
Yeah.
Did that freak you out, that one?
Yeah, because at first I'm like, oh, he's imagining this. Like, obviously there's not a Stargate in the cupboard.
Yeah.
And then he opened it, and then old mate's face come out, and I'm like,
through and's grabbing him.
That's good zombie makeup too, man. That would
cool.
look freaky.
Yeah.
Or except, I did notice right in the opener, when I think just before they cut to the opening credits, they sort of do a close up of the zombie face, and you see him blinking.
Oh, bush.
Just for a split second. I was like,
oh, mate, you had one job.
yeah, like
you could have literally slept on the job.
but it's not.
Yeah, like,
Oh, the camera's on me. Don't blink. I did it.
Yeah.
Shit.
I looked at the camera.
Although
Fucking eyes are closed, mate.
We'll get the dummy in if you fucking that shit.
for me, it's not the most controversial thing about the episode, though. Daniel's fluffy robe. I mean, come on. Stargate giveth. It give us this amazing performance by Shanksy, and it's like the Velcro wallet all over again. It's like
When did he have the robe
Also
on?
in the Michello episode.
when he in the scene where he starts hearing things when he comes out of the shower,
Oh, okay.
like
Oh,
in the
yeah.
base,
And thinks Carter's.
and he comes out after going, were you calling my name?
Yeah.
And it's like, would he really have that fluffy robe at work? Is that work attire?
I mean,
Wearing
It was
slippers.
Carter's.
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, it doesn't become in the women's locker room for another 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna put my
it's like
stank hole in it.
Kindergarten Cop, where Arnie's partner's husband comes in with the pink,
Yeah.
pink negligee thing.
But I was
That's
like,
such an obscure reference. Like, you have to really
But
know
it's
that
like-
movie.
the ironic part is for the three of us, it's not.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
we know exactly what you're talking about.
Kindergarten Cop was on TV here the other week. It started at like 10:40 p.m. I'm like,
Wow.
I know it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, but it's also kind of kid. Like, there's lots of kid stuff in there. Like it's not one of his more violent films.
Yeah.
I feel like this is not one of his films you start after hours like that. It just
and
seems like such
I
weird
cannot
programming.
watch.
It's on after True Lies.
Yeah. Yes. How good's Legacy?
Bloody good, mate.
So good, eh?
Bloody good.
Anyway, Joel and
Shanksy.
R.
Again?
Sorry,
Same
just to,
thing.
they were
just to bring it right
Yeah,
down.
what was it? The protein marker from Goa'uld.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
just really,
but then-
like digging
Oh,
down. How can we
Jesus.
possibly reference Jonah in a new
Yeah.
way?
And then obviously,
There's literally a mark on her soul.
yeah, and then in the writing room, someone's gone, wait, 2 episodes ago we put a Goa'uld in Jack and then killed it off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different protein marker. Because that Goa'uld was killed and didn't blend, whereas Joel and us sacrificed herself, so they left a different protein marker.
But that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Fuck! I've never said this in my
Yeah,
life.
but
I've never said this in my life before, but you, Stargate.
Did you say last week? You know who wrote that last week?
No, I'm talking about the protein markers in this
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, but Joel and I wasn't cryogenically frozen.
Yeah, so she got a different protein marker.
Absolutely.
You,
the
Stargate.
protein's still warm.
But this was a good episode. I liked it.
Hey, the moment when Hammond does find out that there's some kind of virus, you know, in the base, do you reckon he wanted to do this?
This is Hammond. Lock up the mountain. Authorization code red-beta. Initiate wildfire.
Like, just give it to him. Give him wildfire.
Absolutely give him one-on-one with the friggin' president or something. Just like, yeah, Mr. President, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to have to initiate wildfire.
Yeah.
All right, goodbye, sir. Pick up the other phone. Initiate wildfire.
Initiate wildfire. I have authorization to initiate wildfire, so you need to now initiate wildfire.
I legit thought that he was going to do that. I'm
Yeah,
like, why?
right?
Why wouldn't he?
We got the concrete door closing again. Give us wildfire. Give the
Yeah.
people what
Yeah.
they want.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Give me my wildfire.
That is wildfire, isn't it? The concrete door shutting.
Well,
What else is it?
They
Blast
rain
doors.
fire on the mountain.
That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what Hathor managed to get through at some point when she
Yeah.
when she first
Yeah.
got to the base somehow.
I suppose we should probably talk more about how Daniel turned, especially when it came out of him into Teal'c, and he's like, "Oh, it went into Teal'c," and I'm like, "I saw it, and I don't even believe you."
Yeah.
Like it's mental. And then the next day, he's like, "I'm healed. I just got to get off these drugs." So I just tell him I'm healed, and they're like, "Come on now, mate."
That's the thing.
No
that
one
bugged
heals
me.
from
Sound pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That douche psychiatrist trope. It's like I feel like every psychiatrist in every movie is a fucking retard, and just it's like, no, we're just gonna pump more drugs into you. And it's like, no, I don't need the drugs. That's the problem that I'm having.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah, but that's
Everybody
his job,
says that.
and everybody says that.
yeah, but it's just like, oh,
Yeah,
come
but
on,
it's
mate.
true.
You're a professional. It's like it's your job to know, like, the difference.
And that was the other part of his performance, I think, is because then he wasn't crazy, but he was stressed or whatever because he knew that he was in a position where he was about to get jabbed full of more drugs that would make him look more crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
by, again, the buffest orderlies
Yeah.
you will ever fucking see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to
Ridiculous,
pin down psychos.
But you
But
could
it's Daniel Jackson. He brings in two either side of him,
Yeah.
like this, and then a little tiny chick nurse to administer the needle.
Just holding it there ready to jab him.
It
Come
almost
here.
it almost got a bit meta when the Dr. Gig came in. He said, "I don't know. I know what happened to me." So what happened? Well, it's a thing from Michello. Who's Michello? Oh, he's a dead guy, but he can still do so. Anyway, this thing infected me, and I think it's meant to infect Gould, but because I don't have a Gould, and eventually realised that, so it
And how do you
come
know-
out and
How do you know that? Oh, Michello told me.
well, Michello told me, but I guess the side effect of people that it's not intended to kill just makes them sound crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't buy that either. He basically just said, "Here's the synopsis of the show."
Yeah.
That sounds pretty crazy.
It was brilliant though.
Yeah.
Just every turn that it had, almost every scene was like a different stage in his psychosis.
yeah, I would love to have spent more time.
Yeah.
in there, in the padded room.
Because you'd really, I mean, you know how it's going to end. He's probably going to be okay. It's only episode 4 of season 3, but
he's in the opening credits. He's fine.
right. Every scene, something was happening. Once he actually got, you saw him, and he's in that padded room. You're like, fuck, man, like you're in. Now you're in a position where no matter what you say, as we find out, people are not going to believe you.
Yeah.
You are going to be either really crazy or you're going to seem crazy because you're lucid, but you're trying to escape this crazy environment. You'd get genuinely worried because you can see yourself in that position going, there was no way out of this.
I think that's why I like this episode. I put myself in his position and go, shit.
Yeah.
How do you get out?
Yeah.
It's kind of like why I like The Walking Dead or I Am Legend as well. Kind of like, what would I do in one of these screwed up situations?
Yeah,
I do feel like he probably would have been in a padded cell if Catherine didn't come to rescue him because he was talking about aliens in public.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Come on, Dr. Jackson. I've read your books. You're insane.
There was well, his life could have turned out very differently because there's a moment where they're talking about how many little sperm creatures are in the tablet, and he says, oh, there must be about 10. Oh yeah, the 9 Gould and me. So it's like me and the 9 Gould. I'm like. Daniel does Dakara. It's like a porn. It's like him and 9 Gould.
Daniel does Dakara.
It just came to me, and I was like, I'm writing that down. He's
No idea
the
what that
one.
No, you don't.
You'll find out like season 8. It'll be fine. We're only 2/10 of the way through
Yeah.
SG1.
It's funny
Then we're gonna deal with Atlantis and all that
when
stuff.
It's like 1/5.
when Daniel says the Goa'uld ancient dialect is akin to Latin, but
Yeah.
so is the ancients.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hang on, and they already
Yeah. And so is
acknowledged that too.
and so is the stuff on Pelops' planet that was
Yeah,
something else. It's like everything has somehow derivative of Goa'uld.
I guess
which
that's the
is
same as most of
hieroglyphics
Europe and the West as well. I guess a lot of
Yeah.
Latin.
Yeah, but that you is China.
Yeah,
He's from China, so it's like, well, Chinese characters are also Goa'uld. It's like,
and he has a
thought so.
Chinese accent.
you do.
You do.
Who does?
Who doesn't?
You.
When they all got infected at the end, Jack was like,
I'd like to apologize in advance for anything I may say or do that could be construed as offensive as I slowly go nuts!
and I couldn't
Solid
help
Jack.
but think I would have liked to see where that went.
Yeah.
If they didn't get a cure from Jolina, a miracle, I would have liked to have seen where that went.
Yeah.
Like Fraser already had her shirt off within 5 minutes.
Yeah, she was like,
She's like, same here, Colonel.
getting hot in here.
I apologize in advance, and like,
Neanderthal Jack all over again.
Give it 15 minutes, and Jack's gonna be drawing smiley faces in ketchup and mustard on his plate. And
yes,
this is mine.
wacko. Yeah, but I could just imagine him and her got it on.
But yeah, like you said, everyone gets infected, including Doc Fraser. So all of a sudden, the idea of a cure comes down to the inexperienced Carter, and she's asking old mate behind the glass, who's either no help or telling her that no, what she wants to do is wrong. And like, yeah, it's back to what you were saying before. It's every scene something different. There's more stakes, and that was quite tense there at the end, even though there was no deadline set for when, like, according to Daniel's, descent into madness or anything like that. It seemed really, really, imminent.
But they all got
with everyone at the end.
ones, so
They had
like,
multiple,
yeah, it's
yeah,
gonna
for
get
sure. So it was
worse.
like, where do
But,
we?
like, surely it wouldn't be lethal if Michello made it to kill the Goa'uld.
Our
That's
symptoms
what,
would be
again.
acute.
That's what you'd hope, and I just kept getting so pissed at the guy behind the glass. He's like, Major, this is just not going to
Yeah.
work. It's going to
Just
take weeks.
accept
It's
the
going
fact
to do
you're all
this.
gonna
Blah
die.
blah blah. It's not going to work.
There's
And then
nothing that can be done about it.
in a mad state, and Fraser's like, "No, do this," and he goes, "Oh, that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see where she's going. She's
Yeah.
doing the other thing that could
Hammond's
have
looking
worked."
at him going, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "No.
I kind of
Fucking nuts, sir.
I'm halfway through my lunch. Like, you're wasting
Yeah.
my time here.
just
I got a Greek
Just if-
salad in there. It's amazing."
if Fraser dies, I become chief doctor on
Yeah,
the
that's
base.
it.
And I kind of want to go onto his IMDb and just see if he comes back for another episode, or if it's like the unwritten scene we didn't see is he got fired.
Yeah, I think he
Oh
does.
yeah,
I
Fraser would
think-
have seen to that.
I feel like I've seen him again before, a couple
He's
of
been
times.
in earlier episodes.
Right.
He's like the backup sort of doctor.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know if because he's so unmemorable, if that's even a word.
it is now
Forgettable.
at 1 a.m.
Forgettable. That was a bit
So
of much
forgettable.
more confident.
It's so unmemorable.
So unmemorable.
Everything's
It is-
word at 1 a.m.
I was just about to say that. So yeah, in my mind, my little internal sort of canon is that he got shit canned after this.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Like, he was not on board with that until halfway through, and he's like, "Oh shit, I see. Yeah, she's
she-
half insane, and she's still more brilliant than
Yeah,
me."
she's insane, but she's still so much smarter than me.
And even Carter, like, had the Joel in her, and she had no idea, but she's just doesn't care.
Yeah.
She's just pushing on.
I know where she was heading towards, obviously, because that was what saved them in the end. But just the idea and just the sound of Carter actually saying, "What if I just get my blood and just inject it to everyone who's infected?" I'm like,
Even I know that's not good.
There was a moment though, and I almost did it as an across the universe, but I thought, no, it's I've got to save those bullets.
Yeah,
But
they're gems.
there's a moment where Fraser, she's talking about Daniel when he's going crazy, and she says he has no history of schizophrenia in his family.
Yeah, zing.
The end of this season in Crystal Skull, we find out something different.
Yeah.
Tor Alexander Valenza!
well, hang on.
No, you got to blame the Crystal Skull guy.
Yeah. They get
Oh.
angry at the guy who wrote it first.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
No,
see who that
no
was.
known history.
Yeah, I know we're 4 episodes into the season now. I know how you guys felt about Seth and little things last week. This is my least favorite episode so far this season.
Really?
Yeah, I like so much about it. I feel like I complained a lot more in Seth, whereas here I'm praising Shanks and a lot of other things about it. But I think maybe just the way that it ended, like it was all about them at the end, and then it just, like you said, Matty, there's some weird climaxes
There's
in
this
the first
weird
4
editing,
episodes.
all these episodes where they just fade out.
It's like, oh, Teal'c's better. Boom, end of episode.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like this was a Daniel episode. Like, why didn't we get to...
Reminds me of that slow-mo from Brief Candle. Remember that just goes out on the slow-mo
Yeah.
of Jack's face when he finds out, I'm not going to be old anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel bad saying all that because it's a Peter DeLuise episode.
Yeah.
And he's been pretty good so far. Yeah,
Yeah, Peter DeLuise.
batting 1,000.
Yeah, pretty much.
For me-
and he does have that amazing, like I was saying before, the scene where he snakes along the bottom
Yeah,
of
that's
the
good.
Yeah.
of the padded cell, and there's cool stuff
Yeah, you
like
can't
that.
really blame a director for bad writing.
No, that's right. You can't.
Poor
polish it
buddy's
to-
nerfed.
Marge. I often go and rewatch this. If I watch this on rather than any of the others on this
Yeah.
disc.
A bit of trivia for you though: Tor Alexander Valenza wrote Spirits.
Yeah.
So he's not got a great track record, but he also did write Holiday. So I feel like this is his Michello sequel. He's running with the Michello, torch, going, yeah, let's bring him back.
Come on, we got all his gear.
Woo!
I think too for me, like we had Into the Fire was, like it was a good payoff for this shitty setup last season. Seth was like this very different Earthbound episode, and it was almost like they were this little Black Ops team. Then you had Fair Game, where we're actually seeing something completely different as far as the Gould are concerned, where they're coming and we're having meetings with them.
And anytime we see the Asgard is cool.
Absolutely. Whereas this just started, and I was a bit like, really, this is another virus episode. It's like, what do we got? Where's the virus? Oh, stick it in episode 4. Again, it might be better.
But to Tor's credit, he does go on to write Past and Present. And Ergo. So he does have some good stuff in his back catalogue.
Ergo's good. And that's Peter DeLuise too, right? Ergo.
Ooh, yeah, I think so.
God, you guys are good with this.
It's because he's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That helps.
Yeah. And,
And his dad.
Yeah, so is his dad. Dom DeLuise is in the episode. So.
Giving everyone a payday.
So, what else do we say about it, guys? Like, it's definitely going to be in our, what's the section, Brennan? At the end of the season?
Horse shit.
Our horse shit section?
It could be. I don't think it'll be in mine. I like it. I like the Shanksy verse.
If the Daniel padded room stuff was longer, I'd totally agree with you. But it's like 8 minutes of the episode.
If they didn't have the padded cell, horrible.
Wow.
Now again, I know we've had our issues with the last couple of episodes here and there, but I'm already feeling just this 4 maybe compared to the first 4 last season and season 1 that this season is going to be tougher to fill the bottom 7 than what, say, last year and certainly season 1 was.
Well, just running through like the next disc, for example, because we are watching on the DVD. So the next 4 are Learning Curve, which is a great one and really sets up some really important stuff for the entire series. Point of View, which I don't want to give anything away for Rhys, but I think it's... You guys are going to love it, and I'm going to hate it. I have a feeling.
Not to give anything away for Rhys, but it's pretty shit.
No, I think...
I love how many times we say that.
Yeah, it is one that's...
Don't want to give anything away from Rhys, but I'm totally going to.
Here it is.
But Carter dies next week, so...
Dead Man Switch, Demons, which I know is a big one for Brendan.
Wow, see, I remember all these names, but I could not tell you what the hell happens.
Rules of Engagement, Forever and a Day... Past and Present. Then we hit Joel and R's Memories.
Oh, Christ. I feel like this should have been the end of Joel and R. It's like she has literally saved the lives of all the important people in the SGC that we care about.
Yeah.
Like, not only is she already dead for an entire goddamn season and 2 episodes to boot, but she's now saving lives in her death because of the protein A.
True hero, mate. True hero.
That should have been
Legacy.
I would say, ironically, we're at episode 4 of season 3. I feel like episode 4, I believe it is, of season 4, pretty much wraps up the Joel and R storyline.
That is a long arc. 2 seasons.
Yeah, especially if you hate it.
Dead gold.
Tok'ra, guys.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah, I like Learning Curve. You're right. It sets up a lot.
Yeah, and then like Dead Man Switch, Demons, we've got Pretense later in the season, Past and Present, which I think Rhys will really like.
Yeah, that's cool. Joel and R's Memories is good. That's a 2-parter.
Yeah. Which, actually, we should talk about that too in terms of, and maybe anyone listening as well should let us know, obviously the mid-season kind of 2-parters, like Tok'ra, for example, we did as 1 part. But I'm wondering if with Joel and R's Memories and The Devil You Know, whether we should do that as 1 podcast or whether we should split that up into 2. It's been a long time since I've watched them, so I'm not sure if there's enough for 2 episodes there, or like for us to do 2 podcasts or not. So let us know what you think.
It is pretty much a 2-parter, like Tok'ra 1 and 2. I guess if we're going to do a season finale again, do we want to do 22 episodes, so our 100 matches their 100?
Yeah, I probably won't match up anyway if you factor in out bonus episodes and stuff like that.
They're not counted. No, they're not.
Well, if we're not going to count them, well, that's fine. We can make it equal 100 anytime we want.
They're special features.
And if we need to fill
bonus.
in one here or there, we just call up one of the cast members. And of course, they're going to want to come on. So
Naturally.
easy.
Not
then I
until we
think-
have to, though. You don't
Easy.
want
Oh,
to drag the bloody podcast down.
No way, Chris Judge is getting here because he wants to be here. Okay,
No.
Cool. We want him here.
Look, if they want to pay to do a cross promotion, we might entertain the idea, but
All right, that is episode 48 of Get Into Gate, Legacy, episode 4 of season 3.
47 plus 1.
I tell you, yeah, we're pretty close to our 50th.
Ooh, quarter of the way.
What are our next two? What will be 50 there, Matt? I know you've closed your book, but just testing your memory, mate. I know you said it before, but I'm just
It was,
testing if you remember. Has Matty been
learning
paying
curve.
attention
Point of view.
to himself? Point of view.
Point of view.
Awesome.
Oh, that's a shame.
Doesn't mean anything
And
to
then-
me yet.
That's a shame. Yeah, that'll be our 50th.
All right, cool.
oh, yeah, it is.
In the meantime, you can get in touch with us on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are located Get Into Gate, a Stargate podcast. All of our podcasts on the Soundcloud and iTunes apps and whatnot. If you are kind enough to want to review us and rate us on iTunes, please do so. The higher, the better, and it helps to spread the word. Anyone out there searching for some Stargate chat, and we are going through one episode at a time, so still early days, not a bad time to jump on, so please do that if you haven't already, and we do appreciate those who continue to do it week in, week out. Or if you just want to drop us a line, getintogate@gmail.com, and that'll go into our hairy mailbag, which we'll be reading out in a couple of weeks, which we had the end of the month. And otherwise, you can catch me personally, Mitch_Lewis on Twitter and Instagram, talking movies and all kinds of fun stuff. Matty,
At HighPitchMatty on Instagram.
Brendan,
At the Brendan Gibson on Instagram.
and Rhys.
I'm at the Flying Gibson on the socials.
all of the socials. Catch you next week for more Stargate episode 49 of Get Into Gate.
GetIntoGeek.com.